And welcome into Simply the Bets. Glenn Clark, Griffin Bass with you. It's all brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, where you should be for all the Stanley Cup Finals games. And as I mentioned during Glenn Clark Radio today, next Saturday night, Israel Adesanya in action, UFC 276. The spot to watch the fights is always the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel, as you can bet on their 61 self-service kiosks with lots of prop bets available on fight night. So make your reservation now. Get your table for you and your friends, the reclining chairs, in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel for UFC 276, 1 week from this Saturday night, July 2nd, for a big fight night. Well, we will chat with Fanduel Sportsbook GM, full-on GM, Leon Twyman. What's that? No, we're gonna do that later. I'm teasing what's coming. Oh, boy. Griffin's still new. I'm sorry. I'm teasing what's ahead in the show.
Oh, okay.
We're going to chat later in the show with Leon Twyman, the general manager of the Fanduel. Griffin's so panicked. What? Why? That's not who I called. I know, buddy. It's okay. I promise. Got this. Thank you. We'll do that later on. Right now, it's time for us to find out the 5 L's of sports betting for the week. Let's head to Vegas. He is decidedly not Leon Twyman. He is our friend Aaron Oster from VSiN, and he's with us right now here on Simply the Bets. What's going on, pal? How are you?
Hey, I wish I was Leon Twyman right now.
Yeah.
Getting on the other side of the book could be really nice sometimes.
Oh, yeah? You learned a thing or two about that?
I mean, the book always wins, right?
That's
what
book.
we say.
Well, most of the time. Most of the time, the book wins.
True.
Speaking of, but not always winning, kind of a rough week for you last week.
Yeah, didn't have it. I was hoping that Aaron Wise would come through, and then he gagged it away on Sunday.
He came through for somebody. Came through for your boy. Because as I said,
top 40.
I said top 30 was the number. I liked him top 30 because I could still get plus money at top 30. I got plus 135 at top 30 in the old T27. I've never been excited for someone to finish tied for 27th as much as I was Aaron Wise finishing tied for 27th. So just came in at plus 135 for me. I was excited about that. Yeah, I mean, he was definitely appealing for a couple of days, but not meant to last in the U.S. Open, unfortunately.
No.
You also, how dare you disparage Jordan Lyles? You missed on that one.
Absolutely.
And then I actually played this one with you because I liked it, and so I was bummed about it. The over on Marcus Smart's points and rebounds.
Yeah, those fouls early kind of killed that one.
Yeah, that's a bummer. You know what bet? I've had Griffin go back and take a look, and he reminded me that one that you're still sitting on that you got to feel quite good about is the Orioles under 61.5 wins. What is wrong with you, you a-hole?
The one that you said, I can't talk you off of that.
Oh, I definitely was not going to talk you out of it. There's no doubt about that. I wasn't going to talk you about it. They're going to be past that by August. What is wrong with you? That's
clearly,
not looking great for you. But you were right that you shouldn't be betting on any Warrior besides Steph Curry, as Steph Curry indeed ended up being MVP.
And if we're going back to some of those futures, did have the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but we already gave you credit for that. We go week by week to see if anything hit on each particular week. We look back over the list and we see if something hit or failed. And so settle down over there, Chief. I'm feeling I was feeling really good about having hedged my Lightning bet after game 2. I was like, I'm a smart man. And then after last night, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I did that too quickly. Maybe I was a bit too quick on the trigger with that hedge, but we'll see. I still think the Avalanche win that series ultimately.
Probably, though. I do think that the Lightning might win Game 4. But
I think they might very well. I get it. The Avalanche appear to have a goaltending problem on their hands, so we'll see how that plays out. They're just so loaded that I don't know.
Betting those games outside of betting the over, which is 3-0 right now.
Man.
It feels like every game is just kind of a crapshoot in that one.
Let's get into this week's 5 L's. We're hoping they're not 5 losses, although a week ago they were awfully close to being 5 losses. We're trying to find some winners this week. A local, a long-term, a long shot, a loser, and a lovable bet for the week. Let's begin locally, sir. What do you like this week?
This is tricky for today's game. Obviously, we still, as far as I know, still don't know the Orioles pitcher.
That's
Am I
not true.
correct about
Jordan Lyles will again start.
that? It is Jordan Lyles.
He had a bit of a diarrhea situation or
Yes.
whatever it was, a stomach thing on Sunday, but he apparently is good to go. They have announced that Jordan Lyles will be the starter.
Okay, so that makes my bet. I like it a little bit more because I was going to have to go through all this whole thing about the two different situations, whether it's Lyles or Wells or whoever, but that's even better. So FanDuel still does not have lines up yet for this game because of the they didn't know who the pitcher was. A lot of other places did go ahead and put up lines. They put up Orioles minus 135, Nationals plus 115 with a total of 9.5. The total is what I like in this game. Fetty, not a good pitcher. He's getting shelled. He's given up at least 3 earned runs in each of his last 4 starts. Just historically has not been great. And Jordan Lyles also not. While he didn't give up as many hits as I said he would last week, he still gave up a decent number of runs. I believe that this is going to, I know neither lineup is tremendous, but I do think that between the fact that the starters have tended to give up a decent number of runs and the Nationals have the 5th worst bullpen in baseball, I do think this number at least trickles over that 9.5, so give me over 9.5 in Nationals Orioles.
So if that number were to move at all based on who the pitcher is there I like this number up to blank?
I wouldn't take it past 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we need to know. All right. Next, let's go long term. Let's go with a futures bet that you like for the week.
Well, now that the NBA is over and kind of a lot of the daily sports other than baseball are winding down, I'm starting to really dive into the various future football markets, both in college football and NFL. And there's a win total in college football that I actually like. And it's one, I gave you one a few weeks ago on Utah that was a team I really liked. And I found a team I really hate this season. That's the Colorado Buffaloes. They weren't very good last year. They were 4-8 last year. And they basically lost everybody from an offense that already wasn't very good. It's just a very messy team right now that's in flux. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a lost year this year as they start to build towards the future. And on top of that, they have a pretty tough schedule. There are 3 non-conference games.
But the number is 3.5.
I understand that. But they could go 0-3 in non-conference play. They have a home game against TCU, road games against Air Force and Minnesota. It's very possible that they're going to be underdogs in all 3 of those games. And probably at best, they're going 1-2. And you look at their conference schedule, and it's hard to find. It's definitely hard to find 4 wins if they do go 0-3. It's even hard to find 3 wins. They're probably looking at a 2-win Pac-12 season. And just because of the schedule, because of their team, I'm going under on 3.5 on Colorado.
Okay. All right.
I get it.
I'm not going to pretend like I know enough about Colorado football in order to be able to say anything about this. I can't possibly pretend that. It's just such a low number.
I understand.
The number is so small.
There's always a bad team every year. I think Colorado might be one of those really bad teams.
I hear you. All right, let's go next to your underdog. It's your long shot bet for the week that you love?
Yeah, this one, there are 2 that I like. One is another golf one that's a little bit of a lower number, and one is kind of a more traditional extreme long shot. I kind of doubt it comes through, but I think there could be value there. So you know what? I'll just tell you both of them. I guess I'll make my official long shot play the one for the week. That's in the Travelers. And I actually like Davis Riley in the Travelers.
Oh, definitely a golfer I'm familiar with. Definitely someone who I had heard of before this very moment.
He's another guy who had a really good first 2 days in the U.S. Open, kind of fell apart on Saturday and Sunday, ended up finishing, I believe it was 31st after a really rough Sunday. But like I said, he was in the top 15 after round 2 at Brookline, and that followed a stretch of 6 tournaments where he finished 13th, 4th, 13th, 9th, 5th, and 4th. He's been really coming on strong. He actually is in the Will Zalatoris mode, very good on the irons, and is, I believe, a year younger than Zalatoris, but has followed a similar path to him. And I'm not going to give you the win, which is around 40-1.
Yeah, I saw it's 36-1 for him to win at the moment.
36-1. Yeah. I will give you plus 450 to finish in the top 10 at the Travelers.
So the bad news for you is that number's gone down.
Oh, no.
It's plus 360 now.
Okay, well, especially because of that, it's still a little bit of a long shot because, as you said, you never heard of Davis Riley.
Yeah.
I will give you the long shot, which is Vlad Guerrero Jr. 35 to 1 to win AL MVP.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, and this is pretty much looking at. Look, Aaron Judge is the prohibitive favorite at this point. He's actually minus 110 right now to an AL MVP, and for good reason. Look, if he stays healthy, if he stays not on this pace, because he's not going to stay on this pace, but anywhere mildly close to this pace, he's going to run away with it. But if he gets injured, if something happens, well, then all of a sudden you're looking for a player to come up with one here. And I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. has a really good profile for it. He started off the season pretty rough, but over the past month, he's been hitting over 300. He has 17 home runs right now, and the Blue Jays are actually a very, very good team. He fits he kind of fits a similar profile to Bryce Harper last year, who came out of, I'm not going to say nowhere because he was Bryce Harper, but odds-wise came out of nowhere to win the NL MVP in the last 2 months after injuries and just kind of lack of team success took down a lot of the favorites. So, yeah, if you're looking for a guy beside Aaron Judge, because, look, you're not betting minus 110 right now on a player to win AL MVP just because, look, there's a chance that hurts. There's a chance anything could happen. So if you're looking for some value here, I think there's some value in Vlad Guerrero Jr. at 35 to 1.
Okay, I like that one. That's a legit long shot. I like that. All right, Aaron Oster is with us from VSiN out in Vegas. He's giving out his 5 L's of sports betting for the week. Let's go to the one that you say just don't. Whatever you do with your life, do anything else. Go stand in the sun for 5 hours and do nothing. Whatever you do, don't make this bet. What's your loser?
I was actually having a little bit of trouble with this one because there's not, the AL MVP. There's not anything that's wrapping up soon that I can say, there's no value in here anymore. So I was just kind of looking through Fanduel. And I mentioned a couple of weeks ago when I talked about the Browns that books aren't sure what to do with them. They aren't, they've taken them down in some cases. And for the most part, they've taken it down. But when they leave up bets, and this is more of kind of an educational thing here, a lot of times books, if they don't know what to do with them, they're just going to leave up bets based on what they had pre-whatever the situation was. And in this case, the Browns are up at a market at Fanduel, and the market makes absolutely no sense right now based on what we know, but they've just left it up because, well, they don't have to move it. And that's right now the Browns are minus 195 to win 10 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously makes no sense. And it's something that I just, again, I'm using this to educate a little bit here. If there is no market, so like if there's no yes-no market, there's no harm in putting 195 up and just hanging it there and letting it sit instead of taking it down, because they don't mind taking minus 195. They don't mind taking your money. And since there's no other side, they don't really have to move it at all. When the news officially comes out, they'll probably move it because there will be people who might want to bet it at a better number. But right now, no one's going to bet the yes anyways, so why not just hang the 195? So when in the future you're thinking about these things, whether it's, just news comes out about a futures bet, just remember, they don't have to move it right away. They might move it eventually. Just kind of remember that. And whatever you do, don't play minus 195 for the Browns to win 10 games this season.
For the record, because of the news, I hate doing this to you, man. So I don't know if you saw the news this morning.
I did see the news that just came out about most of the settle. I still don't like 10, even if. But
unfortunately, they've taken the win total down.
Oh, they finally did take it down this morning?
They took it down related to.
Okay, fine. Well, if you want me to give another loser out. Wait, they took the 10, specifically 10 wins down?
They just took the Browns down from their regular season
win
totals.
The Browns, yes. They had taken the Browns down in most places.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Fanduel Sportsbook, if you look at the full NFL section, they have a bet which is simply did they take the whole market down?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they literally
no.
Yeah,
I still see it.
Where are you finding it?
So in win totals, to win 10-plus regular season games, they have a full market.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
I completely understand now. to win 10-plus regular season games.
Yeah,
okay,
that market is one of the few that is still up.
Yep, you're right.
Is what I'm
You're
saying.
right. That is available. I'm sorry. I just saw they had the Browns win total down.
Yeah.
All right. And for those that don't know, so the news this morning related to Deshaun Watson is that he has settled all but, quote, all but 4, unquote, of the lawsuits that have been filed against him. I don't know what that means for the other 4. I don't know what that means for the NFL's decision, but there is movement, is I guess the point. He has settled all but 4 of the lawsuits that have been filed against him. So we'll see. And Lord knows at this point if there will be more lawsuits that will be coming, because I don't want to talk more about it. Anyway, all right. Love, the one that you say, yes, make this bet. No matter what, make it.
So for my love, I'm looking at the NBA draft, which shockingly is in 2 days, considering that the NBA Finals just started. I think that a lot of the books are maybe not caught unaware, but certainly aren't rushing to put up a ton of bets on this one. I think we're going to see more bets come out in the next 48 hours. I hope so, because it's somewhat limited right now. But there are a few bets I like. I want to give one that's not my official play, but one I'm kind of intrigued by, which is Benedict Mathurin at over 6.5 at plus 124. I think we know 5 of these 6, maybe not in order. And I just don't know if Mathurin is going to be that 6th player. I know the Pistons and Pacers both could take him. I just feel like both of those teams might go with a player with more upside. Plus, I think that the Pistons might end up trading out of the 5th pick for a team who wants Keegan Murray if he's there, or again, a team that really likes the upside of one of these other players in the top 5. So I kind of like that at plus 124. That's not my official pick, though. And this is an official pick I didn't have until this morning because the lines continue to shift in this market, and that's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement on Chet Holmgren, huh?
It's not Chet Holmgren.
Oh,
it's
Paolo who had the most movement.
Yeah. So as of 2 days ago, Paolo was 20 to 1. As of yesterday morning, he was 9 to 1. Dropped to like 4 to 1 yesterday, and right now is sitting at, I believe, plus 205. It's probably moved even more.
It's plus 230 at the moment.
Plus 230. So I'm not buying into this. To me, this is kind of silly season when it comes to the NBA draft, especially when it's come up so quickly. It's people kind of just waking up out of, they've been focusing on the games, especially casual people, and they're saying, Paolo is there at 20 to 1. We don't really have an official pick. No one's saying, the Magic definitely picking Jabari Smith. And so we're getting a little silly here and seeing these big numbers and betting it just because, 20 to 1 is good value for a pick that's not 100% in yet. And it's dropped. And when people see it start to drop, that creates a chain effect where people continue to bet it, continue to bet it, continue to bet it. And that's where we get now. And on the other side, Jabari Smith, who is minus 200, minus 250, has dropped all the way down to minus 140. And finally, I think we're getting good value on the number 1 pick here. So I really like Jabari Smith at minus 140 because I think he's when you're looking for what the number 1 pick is, upside, as well as he has the upside and the floor. I think he's the safest pick to make. I don't think Paolo has quite as much upside as he does, or Chet for that matter, even though Paolo probably is the most pro-ready right now. I think that this is just a lot of smoke. I think Jabari Smith goes number 1 like we have kind of all been expecting. Jonathan Givnoy from ESPN said all executives expected to be Jabari Smith. And at minus 140, I think there's really good value there because that's only 57% about to make that, which I think there's a much higher chance that Jabari Smith. So, yeah, Jabari Smith going number 1 at minus 140 is my love of the week.
Very good. All right, sir. Remind everybody what's going on with VSiN.
Of course, we have a lot of talk about the NBA draft this week on VSiN. You should check that out. Check out all of our other podcasts, all of our shows, everything you can find on Masson and on the Comcast Xfinity app out there in Maryland. Check all of that out as we head into a little bit of the slower season of the sports schedule, but we have golf, NBA draft, We have everything you could possibly want as we go through this summer. Check that out on VSiN.com.
Very good. At the Oster, at the A Oster. Jesus, at the A Oster. Follow him on Twitter. We will talk to you next week. Thank you, sir.
Hope everyone hits their bets.
It's Aaron Oster from VSiN out in Vegas checking in with us here on Simply the Bets. When we come back in, our buddy Leon Twyman, general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel, he will join us next. You are listening or watching Simply the Bets, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Promise. Maybe. Sports fans, the wait is over. The all-new Fanduel Sportsbook is now open at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover, Maryland. This is your chance to win big right in your own backyard. Bet on every sport with self-service kiosks and watch all of the action from the best seat in the house. Make every moment more at the all-new Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit mdgamblinghelp.org.
Are you ready, soccer fans? This summer, the English Premier League returns to Baltimore. Arsenal, Everton, square off in the Charm City match, July 16th, under the lights at M&T Bank Stadium, home of the Baltimore Ravens. This is your only opportunity to take in a Premier League match this summer in the Mid-Atlantic region. Individual and group tickets are on sale at BaltimoreRavens.com.
That first sip. That first bite. Start your day off right with a delicious breakfast at Royal Farms. Choose from a fantastic selection of fresh Royal Farms breakfast sandwiches and top it off with a rich hot cup of the freshest coffee in the world. At Royal Farms, breakfast is available day and night. It's the freshest breakfast in the world. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Come in for Glory Burgers, Glory Wings. There's glory for everyone at Glory Days Grill. Enjoy our award-winning burgers, ribs, and wings, or try our fresh salads, hand-cut salmon, or our scrumptious sandwiches. Yum! Come in for our daily specials every weekday, like $7.99 burgers on Mondays and $6.99 nachos on Thursdays. Dine in and let us serve you, or order online at glorydaysgrill.com and take it home. Visit us at glorydaysgrill.com for a location near you. Glory Days Grill, great food, good sports.
The 2022 baseball season is in full swing, and the future is brighter than ever for your Baltimore Orioles. I'm Paul Valley.
And I'm Zach Goodman.
And together we bring you the Bat Around every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon with everything you need to know about the Orioles and baseball as a whole. From veterans like Cedric Mullins, Austin Hayes, and Ryan Mountcastle,
To young stars like Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, and DL Hall.
we've got you covered for every game, every pitch,
And every debut.
You can watch us at youtube.com/PressBoxOnline and Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, or you can listen at PressBoxOnline.com/radio. So join us live on the Bat Around every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon right here at PressBox Sports. It's statistically proven that the show sounds better if you're not wearing pants. Like me, right now. You're listening to Glenn Clark Radio.
All right, back in here. We're actually listening to Simply the Bets today, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel, and that's where we're headed next. Let's wander down to Hanover, where our friend, the general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook, Mr. Leon Twyman, is standing by. Leon, what's going on, pal?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Everything is good on this end. I tried telling everybody, Warriors to win, comboed with Steph Curry averaging 25 points a game, made a lot more sense than voting them as or betting them as MVP odds-wise. And if you listen to me, you probably feel very good about yourself, you silly geese.
I agree.
Worked out well for me. All right, let's I always try to let's get some of the generic ones out of the way. Give me the bets that have come in this week, the most action that you've taken now that the finals are over. Now that we've moved past the finals, where is the action coming in?
Honestly, we've been getting a lot of over the weekend. Obviously, we were getting hammered with some of the U.S. Open bets.
Mm-hmm.
So bets are going there. We have some just some random tennis bets overnight. But
when you say random tennis bets, do you mean like any tennis bet is a random tennis bet at this point, or are you like talking about like, you know, a tournament that's not Wimbledon, people are betting big money on it?
Yeah, usually just any type of match that's just going on
Yeah.
Randomly. people want action, man.
Yep.
They
Yep.
don't care what it is.
I know that feeling big time. Again,
They
you're
want
talking to a
action
man who's
wherever they
bet.
can get it.
I've bet Ukrainian ping pong, so I understand.
We have people right now requesting esports, which is obviously not legal in Maryland right now, but we've been having people request that because they're just wanting action, like I said, on anything they can get their hands on.
And look, you act like there's not snooker bets that are totally available to you right now on the Fanduel Sportsbook. You can go bet the Snooker UK Championship, and I got to be honest with you, I'm loving Ronnie O'Sullivan at plus 470, Leon. That's the one that I like. Let's talk about, like, and I mean to do this every weekend, so I'm putting you on the spot. I'd love to know who had, like, as far as the book is concerned, did you have a clear winner or a clear loser for you guys during the course of the finals?
Yeah, we did. In the very beginning, it was more towards Boston.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole series, people were still cheering for Boston, but we had majority of the bets on Warriors. But we still ended up making money, which is great. It's always a good thing for the book. But then again, I also like seeing people win. But we did have a lot of people cash out right after the finals for the Warriors. So we did see a lot of bets come in for those Warriors.
And they not only did they win, they covered the spread, too, in the series, which is, I think, something that a lot of people did not see coming after the Celtics went up 2-1, was them turning around and winning 3 straight. All right, so Stanley Cup Finals, of course, going on right now, and lots of prop bets available for that. Do you see, like, again, with people just desperate for action, do you see people coming in that maybe weren't necessarily hockey fans, but because it's what's going on, hell yeah, let me load up. I'm betting the Stanley Cup Finals right now.
I haven't seen anybody really load up on the Stanley Cup Finals. It's right now we're mainly seeing a lot of either pretty much future bets.
Okay.
People are betting some of the baseball futures, NFL futures. So that's what we're really seeing right now, are more future based bets right now.
What do you make? Like, I'm just going to ask you this generically, all right? So there's, of course, an event this week, the NBA Draft, and I would think that the best place to watch and bet on the NBA Draft would be the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. And, of course, you can reserve your spot by emailing events at sportssocialmd.com. So a couple of days ago, the odds to be the number 1 pick were pretty astronomical for Paolo Banchero of Duke. That's changed dramatically in the last 4 hours. And, in fact, even this morning, Paolo's gone from being the 3rd favorite to the 2nd favorite. Like, we were talking about a guy that was as far away, and I'm not sure exactly how drastically far away he was with you guys, but I know a lot of places he was 20-1 or worse within the week. And now he's plus 195 and the 2nd favorite behind Jabari Smith. What do you make of it? When you see something like that, is your immediate assumption someone knows something, or is your immediate assumption more like, boy, this could be crazy money that's being thrown just by a guess?
That's usually what I think immediately is like, all right, someone's throwing a ridiculous amount of money on him right now, and they're wanting to change some of these lines.
So you're not immediately convinced that someone knows something, and that's why the number's gone crazy.
Yeah, that's always a thought, but that's usually not my first thought.
Okay. I mean, like, this is the weird part about clearly somebody knows, right? Like there's somebody sitting somebody knows who's going to be the number 1 overall pick tomorrow night. So they would have the ability to sort of say to their friends, like, hey, you might want to go throw a couple bucks this way. And I'm not suggesting that's the way this works. And I know that there are laws that prevent these types of things from happening. And there are rules that exist within sports books like the Fanduel Sportsbook. But for the dumb guys like me that see something like this, I'm the mark, right? Because immediately I'm like, oh, they told somebody told somebody. Somebody knows. I got to race and get on that. Whereas my friend Aaron Oster from out in VSiN's like, yeah, this doesn't actually smell right now. Like, this doesn't – I don't think it's smart for you to do this. I actually think that it's providing some value on Jabari Smith, who we've all assumed was going to be the number 1 pick, and now is down as low as minus 140, just despite the fact that there's no reason to think that he won't be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right.
I don't know what to make of it, man. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's kind of weird. Smells a little weird.
There's a lot of props, however, available for the NBA draft on Thursday.
Yes, there are a lot of props available. Obviously, you can bet overall winner. You can do number 2 to 5. You can do top 10. You can do basically draft position, whether it's over or under. Let's, for example, 7.5 for Dyson Daniels will be his draft position. So you bet that he will get drafted over number 7. I mean, you got some plus money there.
We were just talking a minute ago about Benedict Mathurin from Arizona, and I was like, yes, I don't know if he's a top 6 pick. I kind of like the over on 6.5 there. I kind of think there might be a couple of dollars to be made when it comes to him. I feel like there are players that are more exciting that teams are going to end up choosing they want with those top 6 picks. So we'll see. I kind of like that particular prop. Anything else that's really on your radar this week? Again, Leon, we're all dealing with the same thing. It's tough to be in the sports business in a week like this because it's basically you got to really love regular season baseball because that's what we got going on. And, again, the Stanley Cup Finals. You got to be into one of those two things because that's what we got at the moment.
Yeah, it's like I said, we're not getting a lot of action on anything in particular. It's usually a lot of futures. And of course, we have people that want to have those lottery pick parlays that come in and put, a 12-team parlay in for MLB just to try to hit that lottery hit. But nothing is really standing out right now.
What's the biggest one that you've ever seen cash? What's the most legs of a parlay that you've ever seen cashed in your life, Leon?
Oh, 15.
Okay, but my God. Even if they were all favorites, imagine hitting a 15-leg parlay. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We had someone in the very beginning of the opening of the Sportsbook cash out for a little over $500,000 from 3 separate tickets, no more than $120 total.
I mean, look, still. By the way, there are weeks in college football where I think it's the way that I should go. But just take big favorites to win outright, parlay them all together, and take my money. There are weeks in college football season where that might end up playing out. And then, of course, Appalachian State beats Michigan, and I burn my house. That's the way that goes. I know everybody's starting to look ahead. 2 things looking ahead. One, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday night is the next UFC fight. UFC 276 with Israel Adesanya. So you want to reserve your spot for that. And then I'm starting to think about, Leon, I was painting this picture yesterday. Trying to schedule you and your league to hold your fantasy draft in the Fanduel Sportsbook Labor Day weekend, that first full weekend of college football season. That, to me, smells like just deliciousness. Imagine sitting around betting college football, the first big weekend of the year. I know there's week 0 and there's a handful of games in week 0, but that Labor Day Saturday, all sorts Ohio State, Notre Dame. There's huge games that weekend. While you're doing your own fantasy draft with you and the guys in your league, that just sounds like the most perfect way to spend Labor Day weekend to me.
I agree. There's no other place that you want to be at. But here at the Fanduel Sportsbook.
So you got to reserve your spot by emailing events@sportssocialmd.com. That's the way to go about doing it. Leon Twyman, always appreciate you, my pal. We'll talk again next Tuesday, all right?
Yes, sir. See you then. Thank you.
It's Leon Twyman, General Manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Appreciate him taking the time for us this week, as always. Again, can't think. Imagine. That's how you spend your Labor Day Saturday, hanging out with the boys, the girls. I don't know who it is you draft with. Watching college football, betting all the college football games, and doing your fantasy football draft. Whew. Just awesome. Email events@sportssocialmd.com. right now and try to get something arranged or reserve your spot for UFC 276. Griffin, you got a tidbit for us?
I do. Let's see. Hold on, let me pull up my page here. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago there was a better 3-leg parlay with that they placed in October, where they had the Braves to win the World Series, Rams to win the Super Bowl, and the Warriors to win the finals.
That's right.
So that cashed out.
Hit.
Yeah, it was a $100 free bet, and they won $22,500.
Jesus Christ. Must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice. Must be nice. There was also another 3-leg parlay that someone put together for Game 6.
Okay.
And they took it was like a 3-point made threes parlay. So they had
Okay.
Al Horford to make 3 threes.
Came alive in that third quarter.
He did. Andrew Wiggins to make 4 threes.
I don't remember. I had forgotten. Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
In games, he didn't even. That was a very quiet effort.
And then Draymond Green to make 2 threes. 2 threes.
Okay, now that is a reckless bet.
So it was 600 to 1.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And they put $50 on it, and they turned that 50 into $30,000.
It's a nice little way of spent. My God, I mean, it's such a random parlay to bet though. Like this is, I like betting. I just can't fathom. And I know somebody would say it's $50. It's not the end of the world, but it's still $50.
I mean, Draymond, there was no reason for Draymond
100%.
to make 2 threes.
It makes me assume that you're just playing a ton of different parlays. Like
Right.
that guy maybe played $5,000 worth of different parlays, and that's just the one that happened to hit or something.
Yeah, there was another one. Someone put $100 on the method of first basket for Game 6.
Yeah.
Al Horford made a free throw, and they put $100 on that.
Specifically on Al
Yeah,
Horford.
Al Horford to
making
make a free throw.
And what was that paying out?
Paid out $13,000 on a $100 bet.
It's wild, man. That is wild.
One
All
more
right.
fun one. 5-leg parlay was from Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So
Uh-huh.
last Monday, they had Robert Williams rebounds, Jordan Poole threes, Tatum threes, Gary Payton points, and then the Warriors to win the game. And then they added Matthew Fitzpatrick to win the U.S. Open at plus 2,500.
Sure, why not?
So it made it an 1,000 to 1 parlay. So they had to sweat it out all weekend, but they put $15 on it and made $15,000.
That is wild, dog. That is wild. All right, good stuff. Thanks to Leon Twyman. Thanks to Aaron Oster. And thanks to Griffin. Of course, we will not have Weekend at Bookies this week. That will be back next Thursday. So we will be back for the next Simply the Bets next Tuesday morning around 11:40. Let's be honest, more like 11:45, 11:50. Let's stop lying to people. That's about when we'll do it. In the meantime, always a great day to be. Even when you say, hey, there's not a lot of huge events going on, just betting the baseball slate. Just getting down, looking at the slate of games, watching the games there, and getting bets in. There's nowhere better to be than the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. And Live Casino and Hotel continues to celebrate their 10th anniversary with a lot of tremendous giveaways. I've been reading about some of the things they've been doing. They're doing an event for employees as part of this 10th anniversary celebration, where they're doing a supermarket sweep type of thing. They're just taking 100 employees over to the Sam's Club and saying, everything you can get in your carts, it's on us.
Cool.
The Cordish Company is doing so much to celebrate their 10th anniversary. It's always a great time to be at Live Casino and Hotel and the FanDuel Sportsbook for anything, whether it be a major event or not. All right. We will see you next Tuesday for the next Simply the Bets. May the odds be ever in your favor.